We're doing a conference called Conversations, and what it's really about is trying to address the problem of polarization in America that starts at a political level but really continues all the way through society. And we're trying to find ways in which both academics and media people and community people can work together to try to get the dialogue starting again.
We live in a country that has been deeply fragmented into many different groups who are talking past one another. And so this is an attempt to try to find some ways that media can help build bridges between fragmented communities.
One of the things that a school of journalism can do, and we can do here at Northeastern, is to find ways, either technologically or in terms of building dialogues or communities, to try to bring people together.
Specificity is important. And the way we hurt specifically people without power is specific to our experience.
Think for a moment about that term, white trash. Now, close your eyes, try to imagine that term with any other ethnic or demographic group of Americans. Do it, close your eyes.
Just because we sit in a conference like here and be like, well, you know, we're going to question those tropes. Questioning a trope doesn't mean that you are no longer sort of riven by or enthralled to it. So, it sounds simplistic, and unfortunately, it's really, really hard in practice. But actual diversification, like fixing the pipeline problem, is sort of, we came away, that's how you're going to fix diversification in media. You can throw any number of well-intentioned upper middle class white boys into whatever neighborhood you want, and however well-intentioned they are, it will be a sort of incremental solution compared to actual diversification of media.
So when we publish articles and when we do news stories, looking at who are the voices that we're keeping track of and who are the voices that we're featuring inside those stories, it seems like the media could be collecting data, sort of on our own selves, right? Are we having Black voices talking about Black issues? Are we having women speaking about women's issues?
We don't know how to listen, and we don't know how to hear. And there's a lot of discussions that are, you have decided what it is. You have decided what your story you're going to tell, and you want to get the most useful things for the story you've already decided you're going to tell. You don't have coverage in spaces or parts of the country that you have decided to tell stories about. You don't have coverage in parts of the city you're trying to tell these stories about, but you feel enabled to tell those stories, and then you're shocked when they don't go well, or they're not resonating, or people don't talk, and there is an assumption that you are the best qualified person.
There's a lot of anger, not much communication between groups that have very sharp disagreements, and technology had an unintended result. People thought when digital media came along that it would be a great uniter and connector of people, that it would allow people of very different views to find one another and to make connections, and actually would unite not just the nation, but the world potentially, if not around all political views, certainly around common interests. And to a degree it's done that. But what digital media has also done, the unintended consequence is, it's allowed people to reside in cocoons, echo chambers, information bubbles, filters, use whatever word you want, but to actually cocoon themselves in complacency, only consuming views that they already agree with, only exposing themselves to information that coddles and comforts and cajoles them, that does not actually confront them or make them think about things in a new way.
There are certain realities in this country right now. Racism is alive and well, and really deeply, deeply troubling. Secondly, science shows us that people need to be heard and understood as they see themselves, to think rationally. And when you're a victim, or perceive yourself to be, you need to be heard.
The nature of empathy is to put yourself in another person's mindset. And so context is really important. To be able to listen, not based on, I'm here to listen, but you can find something of your experience in another. And I think being able to find those places to create context is the beginning of hearing each other And then I think that's going to lead to a decrease in polarization.
As long as people are concerned or care about each other, we have the opportunity to be better. And every now and again, it'll surprise you. Every now and again, something amazing can happen. And what we're hoping is to kind of push towards making more amazing happen.
At the College of Arts, Media and Design, there is this really fantastic synergy across disciplines. You tend to have a College of Communications and Media with journalism, and then you have an arts college in which you might have fine arts or performing arts. And we have both. And that, when I first arrived a year and a half ago, that was a question. Why do we have both? Why are they together? And this conference is one of the answers. Because in fact, by bringing people across these divides of fields of expertise, we can actually engage in questions in ways that any one discipline by itself can't do. And I love that. I think it's a really exciting time for us all.